Izuku Shigaraki by Fangirl48 on AO3. Chapter 13. Announce Yourself to the World. As they walked through the station, everyone stopped to point and whisper at the strange group. In front was a small old man dressed like a hero who determined that an extraordinary tall and sticky-looking fellow found the closet karaoke stand. Trailing behind them was a homeless man pulling a struggling kid wrapped in some sort of tape. A shrill whistle broke everyone free of their gossip as numerous railway personnel made their way over. "Stop right there," one man said in a bright vest yelled, waving a flash beacon. "All of you are coming with me." The three adults just looked at each other and shrugged, following the officers without question, though Aizawa did have to activate his quirk when a few men tried to pull his scarf off of Izuku. The floating hair and red eyes displayed scared the man enough that without a word they carried him the rest of the way. As soon as everyone was sitting comfortably, the same man who ordered them into the office started talking again. "Who are you people? Why is this boy tied up? What business do you have in Nabu?" Aizawa said, reaching into his belt and pulling to show his license to the man. "Sorry about that. I'm a hero, and this boy here is a witness to a case. As you could tell, he's not very cooperative." Izuku muffled curse came beneath the capture material as it renewed struggling. Aizawa flashed the boy with a grin. "Stay." "And where is his guardian?" the man asked, handing the license back to the hero with suspicious clear in his eyes. "He is a minor." Aizawa thrust his thumbs towards Toshinori. "This guy right here is looking after him." The man now turned his attention towards the deflated form of the number one hero. "Is this true?" Well, you see," Toshinori said, giving an awkward smile as he scratched his neck. "We're sorry about the commotion. You see, it was either this or risk him jumping out of the train." Gran Torino groaned, rubbing his hands over his face and jumping in front of Toshinori before he could say anything else. Nana was probably rolling her eyes in the grave, laughing right now, watching her apprentice struggle right now. "Listen, the short version is the kid saw something pretty nasty. We need him to hide for a couple days. Your town seems like a good as any place." "How can I be sure? 'Cause All Might wouldn't have sent us here if he didn't think that." Gran Torino smirked, noticing a twinkle appear in the man's eyes. Honestly, sometimes it was too easy and a little concerning that you just had to drop the right name and you could get away with pretty much anything. "He personally asked us to bring the kid here, since your town has a great reputation." A pride-filled look made its way onto the man's face. "Well, he's right. A few bad apples here and there, but Nabu is very crime-free." "So then it's okay that we stay here for a few days and hide out?" Gran Torino continued, smooth talking the man. "You know, for the kid's sake." "I mean, it would mean a lot to All Might." Grant smirked, looking at Toshinori, who felt himself start to shake in fear. "He might even come to pick us up personally before we leave just to say thanks." "Okay," the man insistently agreed, acting like a giggly schoolgirl. The rest of the way to the hotel was much easier trip now that they had a police escort. The worker at the inn barely even batted an eyelash at Izuku's restrained form, probably having already received a call about their unusual guest from the station. As soon as everyone was safe inside, Aizawa loosened just enough of his capture weapon. "Blah!" Izuku spat out, trying to get some of the fabric out of his mouth. "Do you ever wash that thing?" "Yes," Aizawa answered, tightening the material again. "Now, are you going to behave, or will we have to carry you around this whole trip?" Izuku's eyes narrowed. "You wouldn't." The underground hero gave a sadistic grin. "Try me." Toshinori cleared his throat, trying to steer the conversation back on track. Look, Izuku, I'm sorry we lied to you, but would you have come any other way? Gran Torino interrupted, pulling his cape off. The moment you heard the conductor over the loudspeaker, you practically jumped out of the window. Gee, I wonder why, Izuku snickered a reply. Maybe because I don't want to be here? But why? Toshinori asked, kneeling down in front of the boy. I've seen your search history. We've been researching this town. Why would you do that if you didn't plan on coming? And what's your connection to the Akatani group? Aizawa inquired. Everyone heard of the Akatani group. They were the biggest and most prominent non-profile organizations in Japan. Rumor was they were founded where the Quirks first began by a group of powerful and rich individuals. These individuals wanted to help people like them, since they themselves were unable to come out to the public about their abilities. They also single-handedly ran one of the biggest quirkless support networks in Japan. In society driven by quirks, they've helped those find jobs and help provide the well-needed support that was sadly lacking. And never once had they ever been embottled in any sort of grave scandal. The mysterious group behind the organization was actually known for turning people in, complete with evidence, whenever someone used their resources to commit a crime. Shota himself, having personally arrested a human trafficker, used a children's torturing program to scout out potential victims. Does this have to do with your brother? Toshinori asked, shivering with acid eyes pinned him down. So what if it does? Izuku hissed. It's been 200 years. I doubt Hisashi even remembers me. Activating all or nothing, Izuku called on Plump, increasing his body just enough that this time, when Aizawa erased his quirk, he was able to slip free of his bindings and escape out the window the staff had left open. Before either Toshinori or Gran Torino could go after Izuku, though, Aizawa erased their quirks, red eyes narrowing dangerously as he pinned both of the men down with a single look. You two explain, the underground hero hissed. What does he mean by 200 years? It didn't take long for Izuku to get lost in New Nabu. The Nabu from 200 years ago had been a good-sized city for the Shigaraki family to vacate at, but it had looked like, as time moved forward, the city grew and expanded. Thankfully for Izuku, his favorite part of the city was right where he had left it, but the park's natural beauty was quickly forgotten by the sight before him. A teenager beating on a little girl. Izuku felt his nails dig into his palm and he quickly made his way over. Placing himself between the striking foot and the girl, he smiled. Hello there. My name is Izuku. Realizing the kick had stopped, the girl lowered her backpack and looked up curiously. Curly pink hair fell away and showed wide gold eyes. Whoever this boy was, he was barely moving as a foot that had previously hit her repeatedly came down on his back. I'm... Hey, asshole, don't ignore me. The boy ragged, taking a swag at Izuku's head. I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear that, Izuku said, dodging the attack. What's your name again? Mimi, the girl squealed shyly. Mimi Hatsumi. Izuku smiled even brighter as he helped Mimi to her feet. It's nice to meet you, Mimi-chan. You look like you fell down. Mimi screamed as she saw her attacker activate his quirk, arms turning into multiple blades. Once again, Izuku dodged the blades with ease, avoiding serious injury, though he did still receive some shallow cuts from the razors on the boy's fingers that were able to land. Looking from the trails of blood, Izuku frowned when he noticed a crowd starting to gather, pulling out their cell phones to film the confrontation rather than to help. Some things never changed. Can I help you? Izuku for the first time spoke to the boy, placing himself between the bully and Mimi. Finally paying attention to me, huh? The boy smirked, throwing his bag aside and getting to a fight stance. Come on, let's do this. All right, Izuku nodded, turning back towards the girl. Mimi-chan, what kind of juice do you like? It'll be my treat. Mimi looked confused. Was the boy not gonna fight? I... Izuku? Hey! The boy roared, diving at Izuku again and trying to cut him. Expecting the attack this time, Izuku was able to easily weave and avoid every strike. Damn it, stand still! Why? Izuku said, moving further and further away from Mimi and closer to the ever-expanding crowd on onlookers. I wouldn't just let you attack me. Dodging another strike, Izuku moved forward into the boy's space so that there was nose to nose. What's wrong? Can't hit someone more than half your size? Shut up! The boy roared, more blades bursting from his body pointing at Mimi. It's her fault for being any way related to that freak. Oh, I see, Izuku said, taking a few steps back and giving Mimi a thumbs up. It's okay, Mimi-chan. You haven't done anything wrong. This little boy here is just throwing a tantrum. He's probably jealous and lashing out. Some of the people in the crowd started laughing as the bully's face went violent shade of crimson. Jealous? What would I have to be jealous of? Look at my quirk. It's perfect for being a hero. Izuku did a backflip. Glad Tomura had talked him into gymnastics when he was younger. Yeah, right. Vegetable cutter is more like it. That only seemed to infuriate the bully more as some of the crowd started laughing. This moment was just what Izuku had been waiting for. I'm the strongest person in this 2-bit town. Everyone says what an amazing hero I'll be. He roared, the blades on his arms hitting each other over and over again till sparks started to fly off them. I can do anything I want, and no one says a thing because they'll know just how great I am. I could kill that little bitch right there, and no one would stop me. Izuku stopped moving and looked at the crowd. Really looked at them. Some had expressions of disgust and fear. Some looked angry. Most just looked hungry for more carnage. It was so similar to the looks he would see on people's faces centuries ago. The more the world changed, the more it stayed the same. Glancing back towards Mimi, all Izuku saw was a little girl scared and alone right now. Someone just looking for someone, anyone to help her. No, not someone. Izuku. This boy was trying to enter the same world as Toshi and Aizawa, but he was nothing like them. He was cruel and toxic. Someone like that was anything like the men Izuku had come to know. He was nothing like family Izuku took and looked up to as heroes. Fixing his eyes on the bully, Izuku took a step forward, unleashing some killer instinct. You're wrong. Huh? The blade user said with a cocky grin, holding his hand to ear. What am I wrong about? You're wrong because I will stop you. Izuku's eyes turned acid as he released more murderous intent, freezing his prey where he stood. You claim you want to be a hero, but heroes don't hurt people. They help them. Shut up, the bully said, taking a step backwards for every step Izuku took forward. What do you know anyway? Someday I'm gonna be better than All Might, with tons of money and power, and you'll be... The boy tripped over his discarded bag, falling to the ground just in front of the crowd that had gathered. Money, power, hell, even quirks, Izuku said, looking down at the boy with contempt. They don't matter. Their superficial titles like number one and strongest don't matter. What matters is helping people, not hurting them. Looking up, Izuku stared directly into the camera in front of everyone, letting the crowd feel his anger now. I don't need to be a hero or have a quirk to help someone in trouble. I just need to be brave and hold my hand out to them. Not even sparing the bully of the crowd anymore, Izuku turned around and walked back towards Mimi, picking her bag up and holding his hand out for her. The girl stared at it for a moment before a huge smile came to her face, and she took it. The whole saying the right name, the right thing, and having the right connections, meaning you could, basically have a get out of jail free card, being frightening. That is true. Even in real life in IRL, that's true. Connections is everything. If you have the right connections, you can get out of a lot of things. If you have the right amount of money, you get out of all the things. A lot of things. And if you have both money and connections, well, goddamn, you're God himself, So I found that little tidbit in the fanfic a bit interesting, as well as Aizawa being like, hold up, give me a second, 200 years, you bitches need to explain, right? Happy that Aizawa is finally gonna get the whole memo. As for Izuku looking at the crowd and being like, some things, as much as they change, stay the same, right? New thing, right? Obviously, people are looking up to people with quirks and looking down at people without quirks. Obviously, that is completely changed from 200 years ago with Izuku, how it was flipped. But that's the thing. All that happened was it's flipped. It's the same thing, but just on the other side of the coin. Same coin, different side. And his whole little thing about how it doesn't matter if you have a quirk or not or anything like that. Powerful quirk, the best, that doesn't matter. What matters is that you're helping someone. I love that. That is such a Izuku thing to say, right? That is such an Izuku thing to say. That is big Izuku energy. The whole, it doesn't matter if you're the best, if you're the, whatever. Like, clearly he wants to be the best, but not for the same reasons other people want to be the best. Other people want to be the best to be labeled as the best. Izuku Midoriya, both in canon and in most fanfics that I read, want to be the best because if he's the best, that means he could save the most people, right? His thingy isn't, I want to be the best because I'll be the best and have the most money and power and fame. It's, I want to be the best so I could save as many people as I can, right? So yeah, I love that little tidbit, and I actually can't wait for the next chapter. God, I'm tired. I just woke up like a couple minutes ago. And by a couple minutes ago, I mean like 30 minutes ago. So basically, I woke up and I started recording. The grind don't stop. The grind don't stop. As always, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds, have a wonderful day or night. Join our community server, link is in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.